Greetings, listeners, and welcome to The Spiritual Experience, a show where we share stories of life, love, and redemption for all of humanity on Earth. So sit back and enjoy. Try to identify with the speakers and not compare. Don't forget to subscribe on all podcast platforms. I'm your host, Jay Lewis, and here we go. Yeah, we are back. Spiritual Experience. What up, everybody? How's everybody doing? How you doing? Man, it's been some week. It's only, I think it's only Tuesday. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. It was a good episode. My boy, Tim. Tim is he's an amazing guy. He's mad smart, He's so smart and intelligent and all these other things that, like, in some ways it intimidates me, If you haven't listened to that episode, you can go ahead and listen to it. We dropped it, last week. I think it was on Friday. And, Tim is a smart motherfucker, man. And, I knew peripherally, kids like him when I was growing up. Not peripherally. I was friends with some really brilliant kids. But I turned, I lost my way. And inside, I knew that I was never as brilliant as them. I just knew, I might have been close, but I wasn't there. I wasn't like MIT, These kids are going to fucking MIT. I had to move that piece of equipment. My boy Adam, he went to Cornell. He was going to be a fucking doctor. Then he became like, what did he do? He became like an equity trader, made zillions or whatever. He did really well for himself, and he was always very good to me, and that's cool. And so I had a few other friends that were like that. But then as you get older, you get to see where some of the really, where some of the really brilliant people end up, guys, that are like engineers. And I was telling my girl this. I was like, dude, man, I'm around some of these people, and I'm just grateful that they want to be friends with me, to be honest with you, because I would love to be friends with guys like Tim. And Tim is my boy. He's my brother, man. I love him. Man, we used to hang out all the time, before COVID, bro. I spent years with that kid in diners, chilling, and it made me feel good about myself. That somebody like him wanted to fuck with me. And that's cool. And it was I was very grateful to have him on. And, he's got a world of experience. He was talking about, he had this stalker, and then you say to yourself, like, what is that? But he had a stalker, man. Everybody's got, a crazy story, maybe a crazy chick or whatever. Now it's like, this whole, obviously Amber Heard, whatever, all of this stuff is getting put on blast. Stuff that we already knew, that there are crazy women on this earth. And they have been torturing men for a long time. Now, I'm just saying that, it doesn't mean we're not disregarding the abuse that, that men do to women at all. Because, they've been smacking them around for a long time, with impunity, And then, the tables, they turn a little bit and whatever. And what are some of the other ways that, some of the women, they abuse men, in the sense of, I call it financial abuse. I remember I said that one time in a therapy session. And, the person I was in there with looked at me like my girl. She looked at me like I had two fucking heads. I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, financial abuse. And I was thinking about that and going through that because I was a dad at a young age. Like, I wasn't going through it like my baby mama, like my son's mother. She wasn't like that, really. You know, we were kids and we didn't really have nobody really had real money, you know. But, and I also got custody of my son, you know, so I didn't, but, dude, are you kidding me? I know guys that have been taken to the ringer, to the fucking cleaners by self-seeking, nasty, scorned women that have taken guys to the cleaners specifically over their kids, man. Like madness I've seen firsthand, and it's crazy, you know. And at that time, you know, I was like, you know, what do you call it? Like a pioneer. Was I a pioneer? Not a pioneer. But like, you know, I got custody of my kid only because I manipulated my way into getting it. And I used, you know, semi-legal. I used all legal tactics, but it was just like, you know, it was a little slimy. But whatever, I was playing to win. What do you want me to tell you? I didn't threaten my son's mom in any way. I never put my hands on her. I never did. I didn't really even have, to be honest, I didn't really even have that kind of energy about me. You know, I just didn't. Even my whole life, people assume that about me. And, you know, I don't know why. Well, I mean, look, there's a few times that maybe, you know, I got a little bit out of hand. But, you know, my reputation was way worse than, you know, who I really was. Where here I am grateful that, you know, I had, you know, smart, dorky friends when I was a kid. I was friends with everybody, you know. I was friends with kids that were thugging it in the street. I was friends with skinhead, maniac, hardcore kids. And I was friends with, you know, guys that ended up at Cornell and MIT and whatever. You know, I guess I was a hooah. There was enough for me to go around. So, like, whatever. But, yeah, like I said, man, I've seen, bro, you know. Yeah, and back then, so I was like the, you know, pioneer. I got custody of my kid. And, yeah. And I know people who paid and paid and paid and paid and didn't get shit. Or, like, the stipulations were so strict, you know, restraining orders. And jealousy and just like, you know, like people turning one kid against one parent, you know, when it shouldn't really be like that, you know. Like, I never said anything. Never is really a strong word. But I'm going to say almost never because it was so close to never. Never said anything disparaging about my son's mom, ever, especially to him. You know, even to other people, I didn't really look at her like that. You know, I just didn't. And what was the truth? The truth is that if somehow if I thought she was doing a good enough job, she would have kept him, you know. In my mind, I had to take him. I didn't know if I really had to, but I assumed that I had to because of some of the stuff that was going on. And I believed that I could be a better dad. Whether or not that was true, who knows? But, like, you know, you sign those big contracts, now you got to fight for the money. And that's what I did. And thank God I got custody of my son because after that, you know, shortly after that, I got sober. Because that was the thing that, you know, brought all that guilt, shame, and remorse. You know, and yeah, so I've seen guys as I kept going forward. And in, you know, and my son's mom and I haven't even spoken to her in I don't know how many years. Like, actually, me said one word and she was around and heard it. And her say a word back to me. I gotta say at least, wow, Devin's like 27. My son is 27 years old. I don't know, 15 years or more that I actually was in the same room with her, you know. But whatever, we don't have no beef, and it's all love on my end. And I know she doesn't hate me either. And our son is an incredible young man. I'm very proud of him. I'm grateful for the human he is. And this is what I was telling my girl. I was like, dude, like, you know, guys like fucking, you know, these guys, they don't make me feel stupid, but they make me tell myself that I'm stupid. Like, my boys would never tell me that I was dumb, you know? Like, they don't look at me like that the same way I don't look at my son's mom like that she's a fucking dirtball, you know? But, you know, I'm like, wow, I don't have that. And I'm inspired by it. I'm not jealous of it in any way. But what I do have that some of these other people don't got, I have emotional intelligence. That I have, you know, and that is, I have a lot of confidence in that. I have emotional intelligence, you know, and it's nice. And it's frustrating because when you have it, it's earned. You know, it's earned with a lot of humility. It's earned with a lot of, you know, yeah, I had to eat a lot of shit sandwiches. I had to be wrong a lot. You know, I really did. Sorry if I'm belching. I just had a bacon cheeseburger with raw onion and pickles and mayo. And I would say I gave it a solid 6 out of 10. But that's what it was. Anyway, so, yeah. I was going to go to a meeting. I came back here to record this episode. But either way, yeah. So, yeah, emotional intelligence, a lot of humility. And, oh, my God, man, a lot of I'm sorries, inside and outside. And a lot of, wow, man, I was wrong about who I was. And I was wrong about what I thought. And I was wrong about, you know, a lot of, it's ego deflation is what it is. No, what else is ego deflation? Bro, all right, today at work, I'm wearing like a medium shirt. It's got to be medium, or it's like a large. And let me tell you, from like the solar plexus up, like my chest, my arms, I'm ready for summer. The belly, even though I run, and dude, I used to have a fucking 6-pack. I was something else. I didn't look like a dad, you know. I looked like, whoa, oh shit, you have a kid? I'm like, yeah, bitches. But no, now I got like this little belly. And I looked at myself today in the mirror while I was working in this building, and I was just like, I text my girl right away. I was like, yo, you let me walk around with this shirt on that showed, like, I look like a fat fuck. It's like, what's wrong with you? Why you let me walk around like that? You know, she tried to smooth it over and be nice. I'm like, oh, I don't notice. I'm too busy looking at your ass and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch. You know, and in my mind, I'm like, yeah, she don't want me looking good, you know, for whatever reason. I don't know. But it's a joke. You know, we're both Puerto Rican. We're both a little bit jealous, a lot of it. But she's more jealous on the outside than I am on the inside. And I just don't show jealousy. But I'd be a little bit jealous, you know. I'd be like, oh, you know. But, yeah, like even the other day I was... What was it, yesterday? I was talking outside on the phone, and my kids were bringing up the laundry. No, that was Sunday? I think that was Sunday. No. Yeah, that was Sunday. Something. Anyway, my kids were doing the laundry. They're bringing it up from the laundromat. And I was outside talking, and then she sent me a text like, yo, she sends me a text. Who are you talking to outside that you got to be outside? What kind of conversations are you having that you got to have them outside the house? And I just fucking laughed. And I was like, yeah. It's like I'm talking to Jaspy, my other son. I love my nephew, my son. I love him like my son, man. My little baby Jaspy. If you haven't heard his episode, go back and listen. Part 1, part 2. Amazing. It was even more amazing to watch. Either way, so, we have like that little bit of, jealousy or whatever. I don't know. What's abusive? We used to have, I used to have a joke that, the joke used to be like, listen, all right, just like no punching in the face. That was the joke. And I meant it a little bit. Oh, my girl, she only really swung at me. She hit me. She pieced me up. She gave me like a three, I think it was a 2 or 3 piece in couples therapy. And she was like, bang, bang, bang. And I deserved that one. I did. I'm laughing because of humility. I'm not laughing because it was funny, because I was, I deserved it. I was an asshole, and I was very slow to learn. And that's the other thing. Everybody learns at their own pace, right? So with the emotional intelligence, I'm over here watching people learn at their own pace, and it's so frustrating. And I'm like, oh my God, please just listen to me. And really, I'm just talking about, my kids. Sometimes my parents. Just like, like my kids, man. Like, bro, I'm trying to give you the fucking cheat codes. You don't want to listen to me, and then I'm going to have to clean up your mess. So it's almost through self-preservation that I'm telling them, listen, you're thinking ABC, but it's really, LMNOP, but I don't know anything according to them, and then when the shit does happen the way that I say it's going to play out, it's not like theory. It's literally because I've made those mistakes. And that's what I was talking about with Tim. It's not theory, strength, and hope. It's experience, strength, and hope. That's what it is. So if I don't have experience, I kind of just say, hey, I think you should do this, or I think you should do that. But if I'm like, no, if I spot some of my deficiencies in somebody else that I am going to be accountable for, then I got to say something. It's like, dude, you don't understand. You're going to screw this up, and then I'm going to have to fucking fix it. Or I'm going to have to pay for it to get fixed. Or I'm going to have to do... So you're like, if you don't take my heed, you're making my life miserable. You're actually being selfish. And you're saying like, yo, you know what? I'm just going to do it my way because if it doesn't work out, then guess what? I got this guy over here who's going to go to the end of the earth for me. And then here we are. G0 grape. You know the deal. If you start drinking this, it will change your fucking life. I promise, the grape one. One of my friends told me, he's like, why you drink the grape one? You're not black. And I said, that's funny, but it's not funny. But it's funny, but it's not funny. I always like grape shit. Who doesn't like grape? Anyway. So, yeah. So then I say to myself, how do I allow this shit to unfold without losing my mind and without having to be like, I fucking told you so? That's where the humility comes in. Yeah, how do I do that? That's not easy to do. It's impossible to do. But I do it all the time. And it's only really recently that I've learned how to do that. And that's emotional intelligence that everybody's got to learn at their own pace. They just do. My fucking parents, dude, it must have taken 10 years or more, 15 years of nagging for them to write like wills and stuff. And if you don't have a will in place and you have children, you're being very selfish, because should something happen to you, it's going to be a nightmare for them if you have any kind of assets or anything like that, which hopefully you're all trying to do. If you're trying to push the kids up the ladder, so you're getting stuff, you're buying stuff, you know, you're doing whatever, and not like things, but like, you know, yeah. So like my parents, like it took them forever, bro. And I was just like, geez, you know, the same thing with like my middle kid. Like my middle kid, they're struggling, man. And it's like, here's the other thing that I beef with all the time. Bro, like, since when did like the stating the truth become offensive? Like, I'm just describing what's going on. How is that offensive? How is that offensive in any way? You know? It's just crazy to me. But that's the kind of world that we live in. Those are the kind of kids that we have now, that you can't even be honest with them. They're allowed to be honest, and it's funny to hear some of their thought process. Look, the little one got in a little bit of trouble with the older one, right? They got cooked together, right? They both got in trouble. So like the older one is sitting there with all of these rationales. Like, listen, I think they're mature enough, and I think they know who they are, and if they want to do this or they want to do that, that's their thing. And my girl's like, yo, it's not even your fucking call whether or not my kid could do whatever, whether it's have drinks, smoke pot, do drug, like whatever, right? You know, it's not even, yeah. It's not even anything to be ashamed about. So I'll just say what happened, to be honest. And if they get fucking pissed, like, so what? I'm sorry. I love them so much. So much. But whatever, bro. All right, so the little one, 16, by her 16th birthday. And to me, this whole situation is very funny. I was not angry in the least. On any level, I was not angry. I got angry later on, but I was not angry because it was just funny. It reminded me of myself, you know? It just really did. Anyway, so the little one turned 16, right? And I guess, and we set up this big, you know, we're going to all go out to Carmine's, right? We're going to go out to eat, boom, boom, boom. It's fucking dope, right? And, you know, my girl sent me to go get a gift certificate to get the little one a septum ring. The little one she's my angel. She's my fucking little boo. I love her all the way. Almost more than anything on this earth do I love that little girl. Anyway, so she's 16, right? Turning 16. So like, boom, we're going to go she'd been begging for the septum ring, you know, for so long. And she's been really good about it. I mean, she has a few other piercings like nose rings and whatever, earrings and all this other stuff. Like when I was a kid, I never asked for anything. I just took. That's what I did. I just took things. I never asked for anything. And it's very selfish, and it's very self-seeking. It's disrespectful to the 10th degree. And it's funny because I watched the middle one, the 22-year-old. That's what they do. They just take and they just do. They don't even think. They're inconsiderate. They're not capable of being considerate of somebody else. They have one of two options. Either A, they're not capable because they want to blame whatever kind of thing that they have. If they have, allegedly, if they have BPD, they're going to blame that. So it's either that, or so I'm saying, okay, so people with BPD are very inconsiderate and they have a hard time telling the truth. Or you're just being a shithead. But it can't be nothing. It has to be one of those two things, you know? So either way, right? So here's what happens, right? We get the piercing thing. Boom, we're gonna surprise him. Boom, 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 right? I'm working. We're going crazy. I set up big dinner. Carmine's, and oddly enough, Carmine's is really good. We go to the one on 91st Street. It's 91st and Broadway if you're not in New York. And if you ever come to New York, you have to eat there. Family style Italian food. My little one loves the raviolis. I love, oddly enough, they have really good wings. You should order them if you go. Shout out to Joe Sanigat for that. Because he's the one that put me on. Papa Joe. Anyway. Right? So, listen. Right? So then I'm getting ready to go to the meal, whatever. And my girl looks at me in the room. And I'm getting ready to get dressed, man. I'm about to get flashy. About to get my eat on. And she's like, I got to tell you something. And I'm like, fucking what? Fucking what? Because I had just worked half the day and whatever. And money is tight because we're making moves. Yeah. So she's like, this one gave the little one an edible yesterday. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, she took an edible and then she had like a little freak out on the train or whatever. And I just fucking died laughing. I was like, of course. And my girl was pissed. And I wasn't really pissed. I was laughing with identification because that was my whole life, was at the worst possible moment, let me do the worst possible thing. And it wasn't always the worst possible thing, but people used to say that I had the best, worst timing. Like I remember when I was like maybe 12 years old 12, right? House of Pain, jump around, boom, right? I showed up Thanksgiving dinner with nobody prepared with a shaved head. I just went to the bathroom. I shaved my head. I came back out ready to sit down like, what up? Jump around. The House of Pain is in effect, Joel. My mother was like, what the? Like, I kept them on their toes. So I was laughing with that identification. I was like, oh, my God. Like, are you crazy? You can't. So anyway, the point is that, yeah. So for me, I was, I was agitated only because like now we got to punish them, right? Because now you're putting us in a position where I have to be a parent. I don't want to be a fucking parent. Dude, I don't want to be responsible for your effectiveness and for your glory on this earth. Because you're not going to listen. Because I'm like, dude, I will turn you into a fucking Navy SEAL, whatever. Because I know where all the potholes are, man. But like, yeah. Yeah, so like, now we have to be parents. Like, we ain't going to talk about it today, blah, 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 tomorrow, like whatever. And dude, so when we had to have this sit down, of course it has to be like united front. And I give my girl my girl gets to swing the sword. I don't really decide on punishments like that. You know what I mean? Because to me, I don't even know. If I was able to decide, there would be a revolution because my son was punished. These kids, they live very privileged lives, extremely privileged, compared to, how I raised my son in certain ways, and in other ways, not. Either way, so, yeah, definitely. As far as the rules go, bro, these kids, they get away with a lot. And it's really for my own sanity that I don't go crazy, because if I go crazy on them, then my girl goes crazy on me, and then what happens? Then I'm in the doghouse. I don't want to live like that, so fuck that. So self-preservation, that I'm actually letting some of these people fail in my house. In my mind, they're failing, but no, they're actually just learning at their own pace. And sometimes to my surprised, they actually do learn a thing or two. So either way, right? So now we're having to sit down. I'm like, bro, and the case that they make for them taking the edibles, which is what they did, they took edibles. Like the older one, she's allowed to. She's 22. You know what I'm saying? She's a grown person, do what they want. The other one, like, yo, you're not, you know what I'm saying? And we can't make pretend like that's okay. So the older one was like, bro, they were making this fucking story. I wish I could have taped it, you know? Because I was like, look, here's the truth. Everybody in this house lives with some kind of mental affliction. And that's the truth. We all live with it. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. Whether it's depression, anxiety, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. Mental, like there's no, like the stigma is gone. You know, so we all go to, bro, my fucking therapy bill for my crib is $1,200 a month. That's how, all right? That's how deep in the game we are, okay? So, here's the thing, right? They're telling me, the older one tells me like, yo, I thought it was okay because I think they're old enough at 16. They're old enough, they're mature enough, they know their own body, and if they want to do that, and this whole other shit. And I was dying laughing inside, but I was I just getting mad. You know, I was like, I know, did you really think that was gonna, like, that's a viable thing to say? In their mind, I guess it is. It shows their maturity, you know, or their lack of experience. I don't want to call it immaturity, because they get offended by that kind of shit. Which immaturity and lack of experience, I don't know if they're the same thing, but they're cousins. So lack of experience. I'm like, because you don't understand the whole scope of everything. You're just making a decision, and then now you're just justifying. If I just say, okay, look, somebody who's, somebody who's struggling, I wouldn't say struggling, somebody who's living with, you don't know how somebody's going to react. And obviously she had a small panic attack, whatever. Bro, she could have had a panic attack and jumped in front of the train. Or, whatever. Or she could have hurt herself. Anything could have happened. And that's what you want to disregard. Because I was like, they're like, well, normal kids, try this shit all the time or whatever. I was like, dude, there's nobody normal in this fucking house. There's nobody. $1,200 therapy bill will tell you that there's nobody normal in this house. The normal rules don't apply. There are people who take medication in my house. You know what I'm saying? So the rule that normal shit doesn't apply. You need to respect whatever afflictions that you got. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you believe that you have these things, and if you have to take medicine for them, and if you have to talk to people about them, and there is no shame in any of that. Like I always talk, look at fucking Elon and anybody else who's on that spectrum. But if you really believe these things, then you know what? It can't be a crutch that you can just blame bad behavior on. You have to be like, hey, listen, look, if you feel that confident, because then they looked at me while I was trying to reason with them, and they said, are you a psychiatrist? What do you know? Oh, that's what they said. I was like, bro, would you feel comfortable going to their therapist or psychiatrist or whatever, to a medical doctor, and say, you know what? This is this young person's situation, and I think they should be taking edibles. If the doctor said, if the doctor would say it's okay, then it would be okay. and I'll sit down and I'll pay for that session because that's the humble pie session. That's how crazy some of their excuses were. It was crazy. I was laughing, but I was laughing with identification, not because I think they're stupid. And that's the difference. I don't think they're stupid. I laugh at the stupidity because I was once stupid, if you want to use that term. I'll say inexperienced. I was once inexperienced. I had to learn how to become this self-aware. And it's only because I had to learn how to become aware of other people's feelings and thoughts and actions and whatever. Like, they don't understand. You know, kids, they don't understand. They're like, dude, you have to teach them that everything is attached to a string. You fuck around in school, you do something, whatever, in the street. It's a complete disruption to every person around you. It's not just you. You know, my son got locked up for fighting in the street a couple of times. Bro, what does that mean? That means that everything stops, that I have to go to the precinct, that I have to make phone calls. My friends, who's a detective? Who's a defense attorney? Where is he in the system? When is he going to see the judge? All of these things that are attached to me. Do I even have money to defend him, or do I have to ask a favor? Right? And if I don't have the money, do I got to call my old man and be like, listen, I don't got money. Debo needs fucking 10 grand. Bam, 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 bam. And he's got it, but let me tell you, that's not going to come without a shit sandwich. So there's that. Like, all of these things, it's like a domino. Like, nobody's flying solo. And that's what I need to teach them. It doesn't mean that you're responsible for everybody else's feelings and whatever. Like, no. And that other shit that they like to lean on. Like, you know, when somebody says to you, like, oh, I'm sorry that made you feel that way. Like, no, you're allowed to have that feeling. It should be, I'm sorry that I did this thing. And I didn't know that it would make you feel like that, and I can take note, and I'll try not to do that anymore. And that's okay. Within reason, you know. But, you know, I start that and then I asked the older one, I said, you know, do you want your little sister to be where you are right now in your life? And she had that moment of, they had that moment of clarity and sanity, and they put their head down and they said no. And I said, okay. So that's why when they come to you with these situations or these things that they want to do, you can lean on your experience and say, look, I don't think that's a good idea because that's part of the reason A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Or if it's something that's really good, you say, listen, I didn't do that, but I wish that I did. And I wish I stayed in school, and I wish, and whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, it's something I learned in AA. You know, no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we can see how our experience can benefit others. That means that if I'm honest with you about all of the bad things in my life, that's not a judgment thing. I'm like, listen, you know, I need to let you know that this is, if I love you, I'm going to be honest with you. But at first, I need to learn how to be honest with myself. You know, and that's the fucking key. I had to learn how to be honest with myself about who I am. And who I am really, for me, is the sum of all of my actions is who I am. I would love to make believe that I was always this sweet boy that people would tell you about. Like, no, man, I was a little shit. And I was extremely selfish and ego crazy. You know, ego meaning that, like, yo, all I was thinking about was myself. I was incapable of thinking of somebody else, like not capable. And that's okay, because that's what I spot in my middle kid, that they are so brilliant, but they are incapable of thinking of somebody else, that you literally have to tell them you're being selfish right now. Yo, my girl made dinner the other day, right? And made her own food. Oh, because I was making, bro, I was doing fucking skirt steaks and asparagus, bing, bong, bing, right? But my girl makes her, um, what is it, like poached eggs or whatever, and some white rice. It looked amazing. And they drown it in hot sauce, and that's okay because they don't eat steak. They don't really like red meat. Maybe it doesn't agree with them. I don't know. I know it's not no moral stance, you know. They don't eat it, and that's cool. And they're fortunate enough, right? They're blessed enough that they have a mom that will literally make them another meal, right? Even if it's rice and eggs, bro, that's 2 fucking burners getting used, right? That's something happening. Dude, this kid came, sat down, and we weren't even finished serving our food. They were already halfway through their meal. Right in front of us. Just sat there, ate, and then got up and then at least thank God they put the dish in the sink, and then they walked off. Then they went outside. And I was like, sitting there. And I was looking at my girl. I was like, bro, that's like fucking crazy. You know? And I told her later, I was like, dude, that was so rude. I told my girl, I was like, because now I can't even talk directly to that kid because, like, I don't know how to be fluffy. I just know how to describe what I'm seeing. And even if I'm seeing the wrong thing, you can tell me, listen, that's not what it was. It was this, that. And I'll say, okay, well, this is what it looked like to me, and that's not the right thing. You know, etiquette and whatever. And that's okay because people have to talk to me like that all the time. You know, I don't have to keep reminding you, you know, I threatened my dad in a fucking restaurant like a baby. You know, so I'm not talking from the how dare you, but I'm just saying, listen, in case you don't know, that is supremely fucking rude. And I don't want you to be somewhere else and that be the representation of you. Now, if you are somewhere else and you don't do that, then that just means you're a fucking dick in your own home to the people who love you. And that in itself is its own thing. So it's going to be one of those 2 things. Like I said, either A, you're just resentful and angry like a regular 22-year-old person, or if it's even, you know, regular to be like that at 22, I don't know. Everybody evolves at their own pace, or you just don't know. And then the thing is, I don't know how to say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm sorry, but the way you behaved, that's what people who are rude do. And it's disrespectful, specifically since your mom took 20 minutes and made you a whole nother meal that you didn't even sit down with the other 3 of us. And you just took your shit and you just fucking broke out to go see your girl, whatever. Like, you know, but that's how it goes. You know, the truth is that my girl told them about giving the little one the edibles. Like, it doesn't matter what you think. It's not your call to make. It's not your kid. You don't make that call. I make that call. And there's going to be consequences. I didn't have any, you know, mama laid down the fucking smackdown. She told the little one, yo, no septum ring. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I felt, my heart broke. And then she told the other one, yo, your girl's not allowed to come over anymore. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yo, dude, that was heavy-handed, but it was like the right measure. Because if they're not understanding and absorbing what we're telling them, we have to levy some kind of... Here's the thing. There's going to be consequences when you do shit in life. Why should the world be the first consequences that you feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, anytime, and it happened a few times, I was never surprised when somebody was kicking my ass in the street. It was never a shock to me because I knew that, bro, when I spoke back to somebody or when I popped shit or when I did something in my house, bro, that's what happened to me. So it wasn't a surprise. I'd be like, no, I'm saying this to you because I know that we're going to roll around in the fucking dirt. And even if you win, I'm going to fucking bite you in your face. I'm going to do something, you know? And if you're unlucky, my people are going to be there. And I was a funny guy. They don't like to watch me lose, you know? So there has to be consequences. And that's the thing. So, yeah, so they were mad. They were fucking mad. I was like, yo, bro, that's a fucking deal. Nobody gets a free ride. You got to pay what you owe. So then, days go by, whatever. And again, like somehow I became the evil man in that whole thing because I asked the other one, do you want your fucking little sister to be where you at? Somehow that was offensive. And I'm like, dude, this is how I'm teaching you to be self-aware and to be like, look, if I really love you and if I'm not in a good spot, I don't want you to be here. So I don't want you to do what I do. If I'm honest with myself. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like when I never want people to be where I am. I want people to be better than where I am, even where I'm at right now. I want the people that I love. I'm like, are you stupid? Don't do this way what I just did. Even though to some people they're like, oh, I want to get where you are. And I'm like, no, bro. You don't want to get where I'm at. I want you to be better than me. Because I still feel less than from my own potential because I got good boys like Tim and other brilliant motherfuckers that let me know that, dude, I do belong. And there's no limit to my greatness. There's no limit to how many people we can help together. There's no limit. We just need more humility. And we need more love. And that love, that's how it comes, man. It comes in that form where you're just like, yo, don't fucking be like me, be better than me. And if you don't have that, then I'm letting you know that that's the way, especially with a family member, with a sibling, with anybody that you love. That's how you have to roll, because that's what love is really about. Love is about humility and be like, yo, man, that's not the wave. It's not the wave. And that's like really, it's really special to be able to do that. And then the hard part is to watch them watch them do it on their own time. I even said it to my girl. I told my cousin today, because I said this to my girl out loud, first time, I think, I don't know how long, and ever, but like, not mean how long ago, maybe a couple of days ago, where I told her, I said, dude, I would never, like, kids come with so much shit. Like, I understand why people don't have them. Your life is a lot easier when you don't have kids, and I get that. So if you don't have kids, cool. If you have them, then you understand. And yes, there are lovely things that do happen, but you better be on your fucking toes, bro. There's no egg timer from when the next disruption is going to be. And where the way this world is turning, with all this sensitivity and divisiveness and all this other shit, especially like the sensitivity, like, bro, like I said, the truth is now offensive, and that's what's crazy. Because guess what? The world doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't. They don't know how yet. They don't have the emotional intelligence. And when you run into people that do, good. Those are your people. But until then, you don't step on anybody's toes. You don't hurt anybody, but you got to handle your own business. You got to act with integrity. You got to move. There's nothing holding you back. There's no system. There's no they. If you're in this country, you have that opportunity. You know, the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. And, you know, there was a quote like Larry Ellison. He said it, some shit like, you know, I had all the obstacles in my way to win. And I'm grateful for them. Like, that's what it was. That he had everything stacked. He had whatever his cards that were stacked against him, he had them. And without those, he wouldn't have had to been able to win. You know? And that's the fucking deal. So, anyway, I love you all. Hope you guys are doing great out there. Another Babble session. Don't forget to like and subscribe on... We're everywhere, man. Apple, Spotify, Pandora. I think there's something called Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Facebook, everywhere. Reach out to us, spiritualexperience79@gmail.com. I think it's the spiritualexperience79. It's the year I was born, best year on earth, 1979. Ask the Smashing Pumpkins. And, yeah, we'll see you on the flip side. This week we got my other boy, Mikey, another Mike F. I don't want to say his last name in case he doesn't want me to, but he's an amazing guy. His episode drops on Friday. We got some other shit cooking. And wish me luck. I wish you luck. And I love you all. Peace. Okay, everybody, we'd like to thank you for joining us on The Spiritual Experience. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, Pandora, everywhere. And please find us on Facebook where you can become part of our family. We'll see you around.